Hi everyone. I thought I would video. I need to get some of these rabbits done for some people, and I don't want to get out my sewing machine. I'm going to attempt to just hot glue them. I've never done that. I always just sew everything. So I thought I'd show you my process, which is always helter-skelter. I draw my patterns just on a piece of brown packaging, a grocery bag, whatever. So this is the one that I have sold a lot of last year. And then I did this little fabric flower on, I think it was my first video. I'm new, by the way. And so I've done a bunch of these eggs, smaller eggs. I did this big rabbit out of chenille bedspread. That went to my girlfriend. But I thought I could cut him in half and just have the top of the bunny. That would be really cute just to sit on a shelf. So I'm going to try that real quick. I have a soccer game at 10, 11, and 1. I have 3 today. Grandkids. So I'm going to cut this out really quick with my really horrible scissors. I bought some new ones yesterday. I'm so hard on them. I'm originally a wood crafter. And I started, well, I went to a big craft show, and it was a biggie in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And I had 2 children. This was in 1980, 83, 87. 1987. Ah. So anyway, I saw this cow and I thought, oh my God, this was when cracking first started. And you used hide glue. And the only place I could find hide glue was Sears. So I came home with that idea and I found a cow that was cracked, a Holstein cow. And all we had was a jigsaw. And I told my husband to cut it out. This is a really, this is one of those family stories that you can laugh at, but at the time I was probably the evil witch. Anyway, he cut it out and it was just absolutely terrible. Well, of course it was terrible. We had a jigsaw. We didn't have a scroll saw, so he cut it and I told him it didn't look very good. And so I made him cut it again. I was determined, man. I have a very creative family background. And so he cut it again and it was pretty good. We sanded it. And I did this whole hide glue thing where you paint it black, paint on the hide glue. It has to sit for 24 hours. Then you put the white on very carefully. It's so sticky. They fall over like dominoes. You're just done. Anyway, where's my new, I'll use my, let's see, where's my new scissors? I didn't even bring my new scissors out. So we started a craft business called The Cracked Cow. And we went to craft shows. Because by God, if everybody else can do it, I can do it. So we went with our old pickup and our 2 little kids and did, I don't know how many craft shows, but this is how naive I was. And it paid off. I put us in a craft show in a mall. And it was our second craft show, I believe. And we did really good, but we had to build a backdrop and we had no clue what we were doing. And that was the beginning and how we got our wood, because I didn't work. I was a stay-at-home mom. So we relied on the one income, was we tore down barns. And barnwood was like, people would call and say, I got some barn boards laying here if you want them. Well, sometimes they were okay, and sometimes they smelled. But then we got to where we just started taking them to a sawmill and having them planed to get them nice and smooth. And they are beautiful, but you know, I was painting them. I wasn't leaving them like barnwood. We got into birdhouses and started doing bridges of Madison County shops down in Winterset, Iowa, doing birdhouse bridges. And we probably made 1,000 of them. We did the Roseman Bridge and I don't know, a couple others. I can't remember the one, hog something. Anyway, there was a shop down there called Madison County Mercantile. And so, to back it up, I ended up getting a sales representative out of Illinois that took us into major markets. This is how naive I was. She said, "Are you ready? What if J.C. Penney's asks you to be in their catalog? Are you prepared?" My mom always said, "Just lie and then fake it." And so I said, "Oh yeah, I can do that." So lo and behold, from the Valley Forge Major Market, Gift Mart, well, by the way, it cost me $150 in I can't remember the year, for her to take our product in. And we had a line, and I tried to be so official. I made up a brochure, and she took there's one. There's one of my others. She took our stuff to 3 markets. We did Dallas, Boston, and Valley Forge. That was our first 3 markets. I went to the bank and borrowed the money even. This is how crazy. And we were like 27 years old. So I ended up being her #1 sale. I got into a catalog. I couldn't believe it. I was frying chicken. I was filling orders. I didn't know what I was doing. I had 3 clipboards in my craft room. In, out, let's see, I had pro forma, which is prepaid, COD, and then out, I believe is how I had it. I don't remember. It's been so long ago. But anyway, I shipped the orders. They came in a manila envelope about, I don't know, 3-4 days after she got home from there. She was from Grand Island. And I shipped this one order out to New Hampshire. And it was a catalog called The Country House. And you probably have heard of it. But anyway, I shipped the order and I didn't think anything about it. And it was, I don't remember if it was one of 4 or 5 things or if it was 3 of 4 or 5 things. But anyway, I shipped it and didn't think anything about the order. And the phone rang. My daughter had a ball game. She was about 9 at that time. And I was frying chicken and the phone rang. And this is when phones were on the wall with the long cord hanging down. And who has a phone like that anymore? And it was whatever her name was from the country house. And I said, "Okay, hello, blah, blah, blah. Should I like to reorder?" So I reached across to the dining room to a piece of paper, and the chicken's frying away in the background. And the only thing I could reach, I wish I still had it, was a piece of pink construction paper. That'll work. And I wrote down what she said. And the one little item that she had ordered before, she may have ordered a dozen, because I think they were like $2 a piece or $1.20. It was a little birdhouse that we made by cutting up, I don't know if this is going to work, by cutting up 2x4s. And we just, by that time, we had a radial arm saw, a drill press, a couple scroll saws. We were all in at that time. So she ordered like 10 dozen. It was unreal. My neighbor had to sit at the picnic table. He was a high school English teacher. He sat at the picnic table and put wires in and would paint and just whatever we needed. He was just a gem. And he's still in our family. He's still a gem to my grandkids now, which is funny. But so we shipped all these orders out there, and I'll be damned if I wasn't in their catalog. It's a little bitty mail order catalog thing. And I was in 3, let's just say spring, summer, fall editions. I think it comes out 4 times a year. Anyway, that was quite a learning experience because they ordered by the dozens. Janesville, New York is where that one first great big order went. Big order from Market. And they ordered, and so the catalog, she ordered, she says, so I wrote it down and I said, thank you. And she says, and then follow up with, and she was giving me orders for every 2 weeks for like forever. It was crazy. It was absolutely, I was like, I hung up and I was in disbelief. So anyway, wood is our background, my background. And I just gave up wood last fall. The cost of wood, I quickly escaped barnwood. That was just too much work, and started buying wood. But now wood has gotten so crazy and I just don't want to handle it anymore. It's too much work. I was doing all my own cutting and everything now. I'm not married to my kid's dad anymore. And so that's just kind of, from 87 to 2022, I said, I'm done with wood. Everybody goes, I'll believe it when I see it. So, for example, this is a quilt. I was going to say this first. This piece of fuzzy stuff was wrapped around my couch and love seat when I bought it. I've had it for years. I don't even know what it is. It's just a fleece, but I saved it, and I've used it forever. This is a tablecloth I thrifted. Makes a good backing. Pieces of quilt. This is beautiful, isn't it? Can you see this little bunny on this? With these flowers. Wouldn't that be darling? There's another quilt. And if you don't have quilts, just look for blankets, old blankets that you have. Just all you need is a little section that you can come up with something cute. You know, a cute little section. A pillow that's on your couch that you really don't like anymore. There's pillows at Walmart for $5. Or a pillow that, you know, throw it through the washer and get your stuffing washed, and if it's just for yourself. I got this Japanese, I don't even know if I can cut it, it's not my thing. I suppose it's a tablecloth. I remember my uncle having one when he came home from Korea, when I was a little girl. But I grabbed this for $1. Look at these, I know there's a name for these, somebody can tell me. Where did my rabbit go now? But look at this. If you were into Asian and the birds, beautiful. So there's fabric everywhere. I've used this forever. It's all coffee dyed now. But this would make a beautiful little rabbit. I've made a journal cover out of that. So let's see if we can get this little baby stuffed. So this is a pillow I made. And I've just been pulling the stuffing out of it. I washed it. And we'll just see if it'll work. Like I said, I've never hot glued one shut. This could be a total fail, or it could be a hit or a miss, right? So I quit doing wood last year, and I actually went out to my garage, and I had, this is terrible, I had scraps that were like, let's say a 1x4, and there was maybe 9 inches, and I think, oh, that'd make a cute tiny little sign, or I could do something with that. I have tubs of that. So my son and I lit a fire last winter, and we burned all the scraps, and it was so refreshing. The reason we had to do it was because I had to get my car back in my garage. It was bad. And I have a big garage. But I just have everything you can think of. I even still have old craft show displays. That's going to work. So that's that story. But I got into, when my baby went to college in 2013, I believe he left. He graduated. So left that summer. I went to Omaha to work for the summer and start college in the fall. And it was lonely. I'd been a stay-at-home mom most of my life. I was working at the nursing home at the time, but the house was just, I wasn't used to that kind of quiet. And it was really hard. People that say they can't wait till their kids leave, no, it's not like you think it's going to be at all. It's really hard. So I happened across somebody that was making a junk journal. And I went and bought a card table, put it in my living room in front of the TV. Because I lived alone, I could do that. And I followed along with her YouTube videos. And, you know, you can rewind and go back and start again. And my first junk journal was made on a $1, you call those little books you buy, those little, oh, you know, those little $1 composition notebooks. So that was my first junk journal. And it is ugly. But that's okay. It got me through. I watched 24. I watched 2 seasons of 24 doing that. And that was enough of that show. It was like more of the same every time. But that's where I started learning about junk journaling. And then it's just a constant learning, isn't it? I watch so many paper crafters. Oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. Sometimes I think, why didn't I think of that? So I think I've done everything. And then I see somebody do something and I'm like, oh, I've never done that. Why didn't I think of that? Just like those fabric flowers a week ago or two. How did I never think of that? That's hot. I have little finger things for hot glue and I don't have them over here. So that's that. I did wholesaling at major markets for about 4 or 5 years. I ended up getting another sales rep out of Des Moines, Iowa. And I was in a permanent showroom in Minneapolis. What could we do to decorate this little guy? So I took orders. Well, he shipped me orders. That was in Minneapolis at the big gift mart. That was fun. And then he had a road rep who, what could we do with lace maybe? She traveled Iowa with my line. That sounds so funny to say my line. My line. I don't know what this came from. And took orders all over the state of Iowa. And I just basically stayed home and filled orders. I had a son in college, a daughter in college, and my baby, who was not a baby, but, you know, they're always going to be your baby, right? Because you'll always be my baby. I think that's a song I wish I would have wrote. But anyway, that's what I did. I think I'll glue that in. And it turned out pretty fun. I had a storefront for a while on Main Street with a really dear friend. And we just got the wild hair. Let's open a store. Why not? So we did. We rented it. I think it was $150 a month for the building. That's crazy. We went in and painted it and put a ladder up to the ceiling. And I painted a great big sign for the front. Because that's what I did, paint. She sewed. And we called it Angels in the Attic. And my youngest was, I think I'll cut this. My youngest was a baby. And as soon as he started getting into things, I said, I'm out. I didn't want to take him to a babysitter. Isn't that terrible? Kudos to the moms that get up and take their kids to daycare at the crack of dawn. Oh, I somehow was able to escape that. I want to do something with these little flowers, or maybe I'll just cut some of this. Yeah. It's supposed to be really warm here in Iowa. I'll tell you, we have truly got 4 seasons. We went from, I mean, I'm saying a week ago it was 30 degrees, and it's supposed to be 80. That's just, I love it though. The grass is all turning green. If you're not a farmer and you're from the city, you're not aware of burning ditches. So they're burning ditches right now. It's a controlled burn. Somebody's at each end and in the middle. And they light a fire and they burn the ditch. All the old dead grasses and stuff. And we saw one yesterday that had been burned off, and by next week it's going to be all green. It'll just be absolutely gorgeous. You won't even see the charred black, which of course you only do that when it's not windy. That might be too big. But yeah, it's spring has sprung. Things are coming up. Oh, I love it. Of course, that means it's time to rake. Rake up all the stuff that blew in. I have a cornfield behind my house, so I need to go out and rake that stuff up and maybe mulch it, maybe even throw it back in. Let's see. Do that. Let's see. So yeah, I have soccer today. First game of the year. Actually, last Saturday's was canceled because it was snowing. So there you go. With the way weather goes in Iowa. I'll give him a little flowery butt. But it's going to be nice and hot today. Probably have an Easter egg hunt to watch with the grandkids. I have 7 grandkids. One of my sons and his wife and 2 kids have goats, which I find completely hysterical and adorable. And they're talking about getting llamas or alpacas because they're protective of the goats. So that'll be another thing. I don't know if I'm ready to be spit on or whatever the other antics they do. I might just, I like things in 3s though. Let's do a 3. Yeah, we'll go up there. So that's about it for my day. I'll tuck that under there. Give that a little glue. My neighbors, my friends, want me to go play, what do you call it, disc frisbee? Frisbee golf, which I've never done. That doesn't sound too wearing on my old body. Sounds pretty easy. I mentioned learning pickleball, but my friend says, Molly says, that's the #1 injury now for middle-aged women. I think she said middle-aged women. That's what I am. Is broken ankles. And I don't need that. I'm at the age where I got to worry about knees and things. What could we do? I've got some rickrack. I think that's good. Got some old rickrack. Could I make a bow? I thrifted this rickrack too. I am a junker. The thing is I buy all these old books. That didn't work. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. I buy all these beautiful old books, and I get so excited about them, and then I can't cut them. I can't tear them. It's hard. It's really, really hard. I collect dishes. I decided I had to put a halt to that. And I said, I'll just narrow it down to my Japanese pottery, my hand-painted. And I don't know why I love it. Nobody else in my family likes it. They think I'm weird. I just think it's absolutely beautiful that somebody can sit there and paint on porcelain little tiny bridges and houses and all that stuff. It's gorgeous. I'm addicted to it. So I limited myself to that. But now I want to sell the cupboard that it's all in, so that's a problem. I have Bavarian china. Oh, jeepers. Anything hand-painted. English. There's that. That's all done with a glue gun and scraps. I am kind of wanting to make one out of this. I think I'll do one more. But I don't know where my pattern went. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to do this. Where's that? This. I'm just going to cut this in half. See, this is why my scissors are bad when I go to sew, because I've used them on paper. And I've cut wire. I just do all kinds of stupid stuff. My scissors. My good German scissors. I have to hide them from myself. I think this is going to be cute. There's that. Now, couldn't I just do both layers at once? I think so. We'll find out together. Okay. Save my fabric. There's that. Wood got so expensive since COVID. It's just been dumb. It's just been absolutely like everything else, just stupid. So I make these stove boards. I call them noodle boards or stove boards, whatever. They're really great for serving. I've had people buy them to put on their ottomans in their living room for like, oh, you know, to serve off of. And then you have to buy the two handles, you know, a couple handles for them. It's just a tray out of let's see, what did I buy? 1x6s boards. And you need 1x4s for the ends. And the handles, and you have to glue them, clamp them, cut them, sand them, stain them, all the things. And it got to where it was costing me $30 for the wood for one. Handles, to get really nice looking iron handles. If you can't get them on clearance, half price at Hobby Lobby on the 50% week, and if you have to go to like Lowe's or one of those places, you're going to spend $10 on handles, two handles. 12 if they're $6 a piece to get the really cool iron ones. So I had two just to get rid of at Christmas time that were built ahead, that I had built. And I was going to sell them for like literally with no labor. I was literally getting no labor out of it. And people thought it was too high. It was ridiculous. It cost $42 to ship one to Oregon. But the girl wanted it so bad, she didn't care. Bless her heart. And I'm like, shipping is just crazy, especially wood. So anyway, that went off to Oregon. I made quite a few of those. I probably made 3 or 4 dozen of them. But they take up a lot of time, dry time, clamping them. Big old clamps across your, I did it on my kitchen island because I needed a really nice flat surface. I don't know why I use pinking shears. Might be kind of cute though. So anyway, when I decided that somebody said that was too expensive, and I know that it wasn't out of their budget, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Nobody can compete with this wood stuff anymore. Crazy. And especially if you're do handmade items or a crafter and you know what you've got in supplies, you can't compete with some of these stores. You cannot compete. People will literally wait and go to Hobby Lobby on 50% week. I buy my supplies there a lot because, you know, I don't make rubber stamps, although you can make stamps. But inks and things like that I need, scissors, that type of supply. But I'm going to give those last two away, boards, and I'm not doing wood anymore. I'm just done with it. When the wood comes down to where a crafter can do their hobby and at least break even, then I'll do it again, maybe. But for now, I really love paper crafting. I'm so inspired by people all over the world. Australia, the UK, Italy, the Australian in Italy. Rachel, Roxy's Creations. She is just so entertaining and fun. I'm going to do this just till I get my glue in. I think it'll help. That is freaking cute. Okay, I like him or her. We don't judge. There you go. It was a nice little poke I gave myself. All right, I think I'll do down here first and leave my opening. I do have Fabri-Tac glue, but I think I'll just do this. It's so quick and easy. So I've never played Frisbee golf. I haven't thrown a Frisbee in years. It sounds pretty harmless. So I guess that's what I'll do this afternoon. Make a fool of myself. As long as I don't trip and break my ankle. I broke my ankle summer before last. It was awful. Absolutely awful. As far as physical things, I've been very lucky with my life. I always could say no broken bones, but can't say that anymore. And that was just a simple slip on the floor. I was shampooing my carpet, and I went from my living room to my kitchen, and down I went. And I just landed in the wrong way. Thank God it wasn't my hip. But I found a way to craft while I watched TV on my lap with my foot up. There's always a way, isn't there? That would have been a good time to learn how to crochet. That's something I want to learn. That should be pretty easy. I think by George, I've got it. Yeah, my granddaughter said, I always pretend I'm English, and I use an English accent, and she tells me it's dumb. And I say, she goes, Grandma, whatever you do, don't use your fake English accent or you'll, I can't say it, or you'll lose subscribers. I didn't even have a channel made yet. And now I've made it and I forget I did it. And I said, what? See, I think I'm funny. What you going on about? I love to annoy my grandkids. It is my most fun thing in life, is to make them think I'm stupid and say really stupid things. Because I know I'm doing it, but they think I'm being legit. It is hilarious. You know what? That little extra flour might be... I'll do that. I might do that. Put that up there. What you going on about? Oh, I know I'm weird. I think I'm weird. And I think I left my hole too small. But I'll make it work. There we go. I have a woodpecker in my tree outside. I don't know how to get rid of him. He's so annoying. He's probably going to kill my tree. I don't have to Google that. Don't we Google everything? I'm terrible about it. Google how do you spell. Google where is. Google what's the forecast for today. I don't have an Alexa. Or I'd be asking her. My son has Alexa, and she says, this is what I found on the web, and then she won't talk, but Google talks. So I like that. I might be across the room and want to know something. I don't want to read. If I wanted to read, I'd look it up. So that's that. I'm kind of a podcast addict. I'm a law tube addict. I did not miss 1 minute of the Johnny Depp trial. Don't judge. I was riveted. If I had to be gone, because I'm semi-retired, if I had to be gone, I would watch it when I got home. But I follow a couple of attorneys on YouTube, and they are brilliant. I follow Emily D. Baker. She's got a kind of a raunchy mouth, but she was a district attorney in Los Angeles for 15 years, a prosecutor. And she's quite entertaining with her purple hair, but she has left California. She flew the coop and is in Nashville area, has podcast and does commentary. She explains while the trial is going on in a split screen, she'll explain what they're talking about. What does that ruling mean? What's going on, you know? She'll give commentary about, because she knows what the judge is thinking. Why did the judge rule that way? Or what's he saying when he admonishes them? It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. I like her a lot. And so I watched her through the Murdaugh trial as well. Alec Murdaugh, which was the South Carolina attorney that, I guess he's been charged now, so I don't have to say accused, but there'll be an appeal of his wife and son out at their dog kennels. That's quite a, oh, Lordy have mercy. That's quite a family story. Lots of tea spilled there, as they say. Now I'm watching, and then I follow several. I follow Rob from Law and Lumber. He's in Virginia, and I found him during the Depp trial. And Ian Runkle from Quebec, Canada. He's from Quebec. And he's just delightful. I love his accent. A boat. I had to get that in there. A boat. Oh, my son's up. I can hear him in the ice. He's delightful. I love him. And he loves American law. It says it's far more exciting than the Canadian. He is a firearms attorney, firearms rights, whatever, in Canada. And he actually came down to the Depp trial, flew down and stayed with Rob from Law and Lumber, stayed with him in Virginia, and went to the trial for the Depp trial. Went several times. He'd go back to Canada for, I don't know, a few days, then he'd come back down. And he would go at like 2 in the morning and sleep on the sidewalk to get his seat in there. So I'm kind of a Ian Runkle fan. He's called Runkle of the Bailey on YouTube. He's in Texas right now, having fun shooting guns, because America can't do that in Canada. Or it's difficult, I believe. But anyway, I follow him. And the one that I really, really like, too, is Peter Tragos from Florida. And he is a very gorgeous, can I say that? I might be old, but I can say it. Very gorgeous Greek. And he's got a practice with his father and another guy. And he is really good. We actually, my son and I belong to his channel. We've subscribed and paid members. But he's good. And then I watch Robert, one more. Just one more. Robert Gouvier, can't say that word. He's from Phoenix, Arizona, and he brings up the documents. He's got a different approach. He does more political stuff. And I found him during the George Floyd, and he's a defense attorney, so he took the George Floyd trial on and commentated on it from a defense attorney standpoint for George Floyd. So that was really interesting to me, to hear it from what's a defense attorney, how does he defend, you know, when the media was, I shouldn't get into politics, but it's just, you learn a lot. I like to learn, and I learned a lot about law through these guys. Why was somebody innocent when clearly they may have been guilty, alleged? But anyway, I found him through that. He's doing a lot of the Proud Boys and the Trump thing, and he just covers all kinds of things. But he brings up the documents on the screen, circles them, explains the definitions of what the stuff is, because who knows that legal jargon if you didn't go to school for it. I know how to bake a cake, but I don't know what the words in law mean. So I don't know, it's never too late to learn, is it? And it's always fascinating to see, you know, like they say, pretend you're a juror. You are our jurors. Look at that ear. What's going on here? I can't get the stuffing in it. I'll just work with it till we get it there. There we go. You've got to move it, move it. You've got to move it. There. And this is not wanting to, oh, I didn't even glue it. Lord have mercy. There's that. That is so cute. So cute. There. I think we're going to glue it shut and have a look. There, that's a cute little bunny. I might stitch a nose on him and put two little button eyes. Do I have buttons out here somewhere? Yes, I do. I don't have a needle and thread. Yes, I do. Let's see if we can get this to work. I don't have any more thread though. Wrong needle. But it'll work. Use what's at hand. Let's put a big old, funky, old, ooh, look at this one's yellow. Let's put this one on. Okay, this will be so cute. I might sit down and make a few more of these tonight and give them to my daughters and daughter-in-law. I just sewed that on wrong. How did I do that? Okay, what's going on here? Clearly I put that on wrong. We just go with it. Can I be bothered with this right now? Not really. Just start over. There we go. What mistake? Thread. Of course I don't have any thread. You know what I'll do? I'll glue them on and I'll tie little knots on them. that's what I'll do. There's always another way around everything. There's always a solution. Should we do mismatched sizes? Yes, we should. Oh, but look at this yellow one. That's really old. I'll do this one. That right there. We want them to be a little crooked. Now I'll take some string. Tie a little knot. Do another one. I don't have anything more interesting to say. Oh, I could tell this little story about reusing. Does anybody here remember pillowcase dolls? Well, I decided to make pillowcase dolls. And someone saw me at a craft show with them and turned it into Carol McGarvey of the Des Moines Register. And she put me in her lifestyle section of the Sunday paper. And from that, I did 181 stinking dolls. And I had a 7-month-old baby. And I'm telling you, the UPS truck was pulling up and the mail was full of wedding dresses, embroidered tablecloths, bridge cloth tablecloths. They're the tablecloth that's crocheted around the edge and embroidered. They're for fancy bridge games. I fit a card table, hand crocheted or lace napkins, family heirloom things. The one particular wedding dress that I got from Texas, she wanted 4 dolls from it. Ow, hello, hot. And I could do 9 bodies a day because they didn't have legs. And then I got it down really fast. It was slick. See, this is a quilt, so there's layers in the quilt with the batting, and they're all each going to need glued, I see. But that was quite a deal. My daughter has the original with the newspaper article. And she is 30. She's going to be 38 this summer. She would have been 83, 85, 89, 95. She would have been, that would have been in 1995 when I did that. There you go. So she would have been 27. 27? No. 17. Never mind my math. That's like those math problems that come up on Facebook. I did one this morning. It was 3 minus 3 times 6 plus 2. And the answer is negative 13. But there were all kinds of answers. And then people will tell you, no, that's not right. Blah, 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 blah. And then you redo it. And there's a million ways to do the problem. And then they'll go, there's no negatives there. And but I always like to do them. It's a challenge. This is my rag rug that I tore apart. Part of it. I have, I can't even tell you how many of these I have. Bags and bags and bags. That's pretty. So, I did that little math problem this morning. And they'll go, no, this doesn't call for parentheses. Or they'll go, I never heard of parentheses. What are you talking about? The reason I'm tearing this is it's not long enough. And I'm hoping, actually I'm going to cut. I probably have longer strips somewhere, but I want this pink. There we go. There. I'm going to tie a knot, I think. There we go. I'll tuck that under the ear. I have lace. Let's see. Oh, this is pretty. I think I'll spritz some coffee on this. Oh yeah, that's cute. That's very cute. Yeah, I think I'll coffee dye it. At this point with all this stuffing, I'll probably just spritz it really good. I think I'll do that under here where it doesn't show as much. Ouch. How many times do you glue yourself before you realize what not to do? That's cute. I could also, let's see, that's too much. So now, I think I'll skip the bow. Maybe I'll just make a small little bow. I'm the grandma that yells too, by the way. I was the mom that yelled during swim meets. My daughter swam for 7 years for a town team. Oh, I'll tell you. I don't know. Why do you think that they can hear you under the water? Because they can't. But you still yell. It's so fun. That's my favorite sport to watch for kids because everybody gets a chance. Should that be on the ear? Maybe smaller. So today at soccer, I'll be screaming. I'll be that grandma. I think I'll put it there. That's cute. This is just a last minute kind of a morning hobby before I leave. A little craft. There. I'm going to call that good. I could put a tag on it. Got some tags here. I'll use one that's really coffee dyed. I could stamp it. Let's see. Where are my? I'll put a heart on it. That's what I'll do. Oh, it's stuck. Come on. I have a bunch of new stamps ordered. I'm so excited. What on earth? There. think my stamp's ruined. Yeah, that didn't turn out. Huh. Let's do something else. I think that stamp is, it looks like it's melted or something. There, that'll work. And I think I'll glue it up there. Okay, I have to get ready for a soccer game. So, that's that. So, we got this one, and I don't even know where the other one went now. Where on earth did I throw him? There's the original. This one. And the other one has hopped away. My word. Am I blind? Does anyone else have these moments? Well, I have no idea where that rabbit fell to. Somewhere at my feet. Okay, bunny on the loose. That is just so weird. There it is. If you saw what I have for a pile of fabrics beside me. So we got this one. And this one. It's kind of cute. I don't know if I'm crazy about that gold, but it was laying here. And this one. This one I've sewn. And that's it for today. This is my 4th video. Welcome to my world, I guess. Off to soccer. Have a nice weekend, everybody. Happy Easter.